Now, in lecture 3, paper EL 6503, EL 6503, Unit 3, pulse generator, pulse generator. In last lecture, we already discussed about the introduction of the pulse modulation techniques, then pulse amplitude modulation PAM. Then we discuss about the sampling process. We also discuss about the pulse width modulation. We are given one example, speed control of the DC motor using pulse width modulation. Now we are discussing about the pulse position modulation. We are discussing about the pulse position modulation in this third lecture. This is our third lecture, pulse position modulation. Pulse position modulation. It is also known as PPM, pulse position modulation. Now here, the pulse position modulation is defined as PPM is defined as the process of varying the process of varying the position of the pulse with respect to variation of the message signal. So ppm is nothing but here it is the process of varying the position of the pulse with respect to variation of the message signal. In pm, amplitude is varies with respect to message signal, variation of the message signal. In ppm, position is vary with respect to variation of the message signal. Now here we consider that let TP indicates the timing instant of the leading or trailing edge of the pulse. If this is your pulse, then this is known as leading edge and this is known as trailing edge, right? So let us consider that TP it is equal to the timing instant of the leading or trailing edge of the pulse in each period of the pulse train. Therefore, in pulse position modulation, this TP is directly proportional to VM. This TP is directly proportional to VM. Mathematically, the position of the leading or trailing edge of the pulse in ppm signal is given by TP is equal to function of VM. TP is equal to function of VM. That means message signal amplitude. When there is no message, then the position of the leading or trailing edge of the pulse will be equal to original position. Hence, TP is equal to 0. That means when there is no message, then Tp is equal to 0. When there is no message, then the position of the leading or trailing edge of the pulse will be equal to the original position, and hence there is no change, and hence this Tp it is equal to 0. For positive value of message, the position will be proportionally shift right hand side. For positive value of message, positive value of message signal, then the position, for positive value of message signal, the position will be proportionally shifted right hand side. The position will shifted right hand side by Tp is equal to function of Vm depending upon the message signal. For negative value of the message, for negative value of message signal, then position will be shifted left hand side by Tp is equal to function of Vm. For negative value of message, the position will be proportionally shifted left hand side. That means here we write down negative sign, here we write down negative sign. Negative Tp is it is equal to function of Vm negative. One way of generating ppm is to generate PWM and post process the same to get ppm. For the one way to generating ppm, first we generate the PWM and then we get the ppm. So there is a generation of PWM is necessary. This is the one process to find out the or to get the ppm waveform. Now we will see how it generate. Now we will see how it is generated as illustrated in the figure. This is your figure. I already drawn this figure. Right? This is nothing but this is our message signal simple sine wave. On this message signal, this is our pulse train. We want to modulation of these two waveform in terms of the generation of pulse position modulation. So first of all, we are getting the pulse width modulation. See, when the message is coming, the width is changed. Instead of this much thickness, we are getting more thick. That means the width is more depending upon the amplitude of the message signal. So this is your pulse width modulation. There is a change in the width of the train, and this is your final ppm. That means conversion of the generation of the pulse position modulated waveform. Now this figure shows the generation of ppm signal. Here, if PWM is generated by varying the width of the trailing edge, then this edge will be extracted to get the position of the pulse in each period. I repeat, if PWM pulse width modulation is generated by varying the width of the trailing edge, then this edge will be extracted to get the position of the pulse in each period. Once the position is extracted, the leading or trailing edge of the pulse is placed at this instant. the amplitude and width of the pulse remain constant as in the original pulse train. I repeat, the amplitude and width of the pulse remain constant as in the original pulse train. Hence, the ppm is equally robust to noise like PWM. The mathematical treatment about the frequency domain aspect of PWM is an involved process. However, the resulting ppm will also have the spectrum in the baseband region itself. Alternative method is if PWM alternative method is if PWM is generated by varying the leading edge, then this edge needs to be extracted to generate ppm, and any edge can be used in case of modification of both edge. Even though the ppm signal also contains the message information in the pulse train, it is seldom used due to its indirect way of storing message information as in pulse width modulation PWM, and also the randomness involved in the position modification. Hence, ppm is of theoretically interest only and has limited use in signal processing and communication field. Hence, this is the limited use in signal processing and communication field. Now we are discussing about the pulse digital modulation techniques. Now we are discussing about the pulse digital modulation techniques. So in this topic, pulse digital modulation techniques, pulse digital modulation techniques. The most important pulse digital modulation technique include PCM, that means pulse code modulation, pulse code modulation, DM, that means delta modulation, and DPCM. And DPCM, that means, what is the meaning of DPCM? Demodulation, or we can say differential pulse code modulation. Differential pulse code modulation. I repeat, in pulse digital modulation techniques, there are three techniques: PCM, that means pulse code modulation, DM, that means delta modulation, and DPCM, that means differential pulse code modulation. This section describes each of these techniques and also recovering approximate analog message signal from them. So when the signal transfer by using this method, then we can also recover this signal. That we will discuss the later on. At first, we are discussing about the pulse code modulation. Pulse code modulation, it is also known as PCM. It is also known as PCM. The fundamental and most important pulse digital modulation technique is the pulse code modulation. This technique is the breakthrough for moving from analog to digital communication. PCM technique is essentially the result of the thought process to represent message signal in digital form rather than the original analog form. The motivation is the merit of digital signal over the analog signal for communication, namely noise robustness. This PCM may be treated as extension of PAM. This PCM, it is nothing but it is the extension of pulse amplitude modulation. In PAM, the time parameter is discretized. In PAM, time parameter is discretized, but the amplitude still remained continuous. But amplitude remains continuous. That is, within the allowable amplitude limits, the signal value can take on infinite values. However, all these infinite values may not be distinct from the perception point of view. For instance, in case of speech signal, all amplitude values may not be important from the auditory perception point of view. Therefore, we may not lose any information by discretizing the amplitude to some finite value. What is essential here? What is essential here is to round or approximate a group of nearby amplitude values and represent them by a single discrete amplitude value. This process is termed as quantization. This process is known as quantization. This process is known as quantization. So there is a question, what is quantization? Next, the signal with discretized amplitude values in termed as quantized signal. When the quantization takes place, then the signal is known as quantized signal. The signal is known as quantized signal after the process of quantization. There will be error between the original analog signal and its quantized version. So there in between this there is some error which is measured and represented in terms of quantization noise, which is known as quantization noise. So again there is a second short question, what is quantization noise? What is the preferable is minimum quantization noise. So we know that if there is a very minimum quantization noise, then it is preferable. What is preferable is minimum quantization noise and hence more closely quantizing signal amplitudes. This leads to more number of discrete level, hence it is a trade-off. The quantization can be carried out either by dividing the whole amplitude range into uniform or non-uniform intervals. We are getting the quantization when it is can be carried out either by dividing the whole amplitude range into uniform non-uniform intervals, uniform or non-uniform intervals. Accordingly, we have uniform and non-uniform quantization. If there is a uniform range, then it is known as the uniform quantization. If the non-uniform intervals, then it is known as the non-uniform quantization. PCM is also named after the same as uniform or non-uniform PCM. So there is a uniform or non-uniform quantization. Uniform or non-uniform quantization or PCM. The non-uniform quantization and hence PCM are based on the observation of the non-uniform distribution of the signal values within the allowable limits. For example, in case of speech, most of the signal values are around the zero level and few will be in the maximum range. Hence, benefit can be achieved in terms of quantization noise by using non-uniform quantization. However, non-uniform quantization is relatively difficult to implement compared to uniform quantization. The block diagram of the generation of PCM signal is given as this is your input analog signal. It is given to the sampler PM, sampler, pulse amplitude modulation PAM. Then quantizer, then the second block is the quantizer. Then encoder, third block is the encoder, and the last we are getting PCM signal. Last we are getting PCM signal. So this is the generation of PCM signal. This figure is generation of PCM signal. Each of the discrete amplitude levels can be uniquely represented by a binary word. To facilitate this, the total number of discrete levels are decided to be in the power of 2. For example, if the binary word is 8-bit, if the binary word 8-bit, then 2 raised to 8, it is equal to 256 discrete level possible. In this way, I repeat, each of the discrete amplitude levels can be uniquely represented by a binary word. To facilitate this, the total number of discrete levels are decided to be in the power of 2. For example, if the binary word is of 8-bit length, then we will have 256 discrete levels possible. Hence, each analog value is sampled by PAM process, quantized and represented by a binary word. Hence the name pulse code modulation, where the pulse modulation involves coding the sampled analog values. Hence the name pulse code modulation. That means here the pulse modulation involves coding the sample analog values. The sample analog values. The PCM technique is given in this block diagram. The sampler block, I repeat, the sampler block essentially performs the PAM process, and the only difference is the pulse width. The pulse width, that means delta tends to 0. The pulse width delta tends to 0. The input of the sampler blocks, the input of the sampler block will have signal which is continuous both in time and amplitude. The output of the sampler block, the output of the sampler block will have signal which is continuous both in time and amplitude. The output of the sampler block will have the signal which is discrete in time, discrete in time and continuous in amplitude, continuous in amplitude. I repeat, in the input signal, what happened here? We are applying the analog signal to the input of the sampler PAM. The sampler block essentially performs PAM process, and the only difference is the pulse width delta tends to 0. The input of the sampler block will have signal which is continuous in both in time and amplitude. So this is your continuous signal is continuous in time and amplitude. In time and amplitude. But the output of the sampler, the signal is discrete in time but continuous in amplitude. Now, the output of the sampler blocks will have signal which is discrete in time and continuous in amplitude. Now, the output of this is input of the quantizer. Now, what is the output? The output of the quantizer will have signal which is discrete both in time and amplitude. So this is discrete in time and amplitude, both in time as well as in amplitude. Hence the output of the encoder will have unique binary code. Hence the output of the encoder will have unique binary code. The output of the encoder will have unique binary code. The whole process of sampling, quantizing and encoding, sampling, quantizing and encoding is also termed as analog to digital conversion operation. So this is nothing but analog to digital, analog to digital conversion. This all process, the output of the encoder will have unique binary code for each discrete value. The whole process of the sampling, quantizing and encoding is also termed as analog to digital conversion. It is also known as ADC. It is also known as ADC. ADC means analog to digital conversion. This is the process in between these. This is the process with the help of sampler, PM, quantizer, encoder. This analog signal it is converted into the form of the digital. Hence, for any analog signal, the output of the ADC is nothing but PCM code. Hence, we can say that the output is nothing but PCM code. Output is nothing but PCM code, pulse code modulation, or we can say PCM signal. We can say PCM signal. That's all.